Good morning, learners. Our subject for today is Science 5 for Quarter 3, Week 2. Yes, Conductors of Heat and Electricity. And at the end of the lesson, you are expected to discuss why some materials are good conductors of heat and electricity. You learned in the previous lesson that motion is a change in position with respect to a reference point, while distance is the measure of how far or near two points are far from each other. So, the speed can be calculated by dividing the distance covered by an object in motion by the time spent over the distance. Let us try to answer this word problem in your notebook. And here is the problem. A jeepney drove to a passenger's house that is 30 meters away from the station in 15 seconds. What is the speed of the jeepney? So let us use this formula. So speed is equals to distance over time. Okay, and here is the answer. So S is equals to 30 meters over 15 seconds, and that is equivalent to S is equals to 2 meters per second. And that is the answer. If you are done with your computation above, you may proceed to another topic where you are able to 1. Identify the good heat and electricity conductors. 2. Differentiate conductors from insulators. And 3. Appreciate the importance of conductors in the distribution of electricity and heat. For the first activity, prepare the materials listed below. If not available, you may use other materials at home to perform the activity. You may ask the help of your parents or guardians or any adult members of the family if needed. The title of activity is Electricity Flow. And here are the materials needed. We have small flashlight, battery, aluminum foil, self-adhesive tape, comb, coin, toothpick, paper, and paper clip. And here are the procedures. First, cut a part of the aluminum foil into 3 strips about 30 cm long. 2. Fold or roll the strips until its diameter is similar to an electric cord. 3. Tape one end of the first strip to the negative side of the battery. 4. Place the other end of the strip around the light bulb. And 5. Tape one end of the second strip to the positive side of the battery and the third strip together. 6. Test your connection by bringing the free ends of the second and third strips together and then adjust as necessary. 7. Once your circuit works, try testing the objects listed above if the bulb will light up by making one side of the other touch the free end of the second strip and the other side the free end of the third strip. Number 8. Be sure to disconnect the circuit between each trial for a few seconds, especially if either the aluminum foil or the battery begins to heat up. So here is the table for you to record your observation. So we have the first column, the object or the material. So we have the coin, toothpick, paper clip, paper, and then comb. And then, was the bulb lighted using this object? Yes or no? So you will just check your answer. And then for the questions, For the first one, which among the materials allow electricity to pass through? Number 2, which among the materials do not allow the electricity to pass through? And number 3, what do you call the materials that allow electricity to pass through? Number 4, what do you call materials do not allow electricity to pass through? Okay, so children, I did the activity, so I was able to answer this observation, and here are my answers. So coin, yes. Toothpick, no. Paper clip, yes. Paper, no. Comb, no. And my answers for the questions. So in the first one, okay, so which among the materials allow electricity to pass through? So we have the toothpick, paper, the coin, and paper clip. And then for number 2, which among the materials do not allow the electricity to pass through? We have the toothpick, the paper, and the comb. And for number 3, what do you call the materials that allow electricity to pass through? The answer is conductors. And what do you call the materials that do not allow the electricity to pass through? The answer is insulators. Another activity. So prepare the materials below. If not available, again, you may use other materials at home to perform the activity. So you may ask the help of your parents or guardians or any adult members of the family if needed. So the title of the activity is Heat Flow. So we have the following materials: hot water and mug, paper, comb, coin, toothpick, paper clip, pencil, metal spoon, tongs, and eraser. And procedures. So for safety, be careful when experimenting with hot water. And here are the procedures. First, put hot water in a mug. 2. Place all the objects in the mug. 3. After 1 minute, drain the water in the mug and get the objects using a tongue. Number 4, touch each object and record your observations in a tabular form. And then number 5, put a check if the answer to the question is yes and X if the answer to the question is no. And here is again the table. So we have the first column, the objects. So we have coin, comb, metal spoon, paper, paper clip, pencil, eraser, and then we have the toothpick. And then these objects become hot. So this is the part that you are going to check your answer. And then for the questions, which among the materials are good conductors of heat and electricity, and what does this show or prove? Number 2, which among the materials are insulators of heat and electricity, and what does this show or prove? Okay, so again children, I did the activity, so I was able to answer this table. So on the first one, we have the coin. Did the objects become hot? Yes. Correct. Or check. Then comb, check. Metal spoon, check. Paper, check. Paper clip, check. Pencil, check. Eraser, check. And then toothpick, check. And then for the number 1 answer, which among the materials are good conductors of heat and electricity, and what does this show or prove? So we have paper clip, metal spoon, and then coin. So the heat transfer and can pass easily to the object. And then for number 2 answers, we have comb, paper, pencil, eraser, and toothpick. So the heat doesn't stay longer, and heat and electricity can't pass easily to the following objects. So that means that conductors are materials that allow heat and electricity to pass through easily. Copper wires are widely used for electrical wiring because they are ductile and are good conductors of electricity. So iron, gold, silver, brass, steel, nickel, and water are also conductors of heat and electricity. Then metals are good conductors of heat and electricity. Copper and aluminum are metals. Stainless steel is an iron-based metal with chromium. Cooking pots and pans made of metals make cooking faster because they quickly allow heat transfer from the flame to the food being cooked. Not all materials are good conductors of heat and electricity, and they are called insulators. So insulators are materials that does not allow heat and electricity to pass through easily. So materials that are made of plastic, steel, leather, glass, oil, and rubber are examples of insulators. For the engagement, analyze each picture. Write C if the object is conductor and I if it is an insulator. So here are the pictures. So the first one is lip, number 2 book, number 3 gold bars, number 3 ring, 4 ring, 5 pencil, 6 rubber, 7 tin can, 8 nails, 9 spoon, and number 10 paper. Okay, so let us now answer number 1. So the answer is I, insulator. Number 2, I. Number 3, C, conductor. Number 4, C. Number 5, I. Number 6, I. Number 7, C. Number 8, C. Number 9, C. And number 10, letter I. For the assimilation, to understand the lesson comprehensively about the conductors, perform this activity. The title of the activity is Conductors of Heat and Electricity at Home. What you need are ballpen and paper. What to do? First, list down materials that are considered good conductors that can be found at your home. And 2, illustrate your answers by showing how they become good conductors of heat and electricity. And then afterwards, answer the following questions. Number 1, what are the materials that you have listed? Number 2, why do you say that they are good conductors of heat and electricity? Number 3, what characteristics of materials make them good conductors? And number 4, how would you differentiate conductor from the insulator? And here are the answers. So first, we have cauldron, nails, spoon, fork, and all metal materials. Number 2, because these materials that allow heat, electricity to pass through easily. And number 3, malleable, ductile, good thermal conductivity. And number 4, materials which have good mobility of electrons are known as conductors, and materials with less mobility of electrons are referred to as insulators. For the assessment, letter A, answer the letter of your answer. So 1. Materials through which electricity pass easily are called A. Insulators, B. Conductors, C. Non-conductors, or D. Metallic. Number 2. Which of the following group of materials are good conductors of electricity? A. Copper, silver, gold, glass, and zinc. B. Wood, paper, leather, and plastic. C. Iron, copper, silver, gold, and nickel. D. Gold, paper, cloth, and plastic. Number 3. What materials do not transmit electricity and heat are called A. Insulators, B. Conductors, C. Non-conductors, or D. Metallic. Number 4. Which of the following is most likely to conduct electricity the fastest? A. Wood, B. Plastic, C. Iron grills, or D. Rubber. And number 5. The following are good conductors of heat and electricity except A. Silver spoon, B. Golden ring, C. Cotton, or D. Iron bar. Okay, let us now answer the assessment for letter A. So the first one, the answer is letter B, conductors. For number 2, the answer is letter C, iron, copper, silver, gold, and nickel. Number 3, the answer is letter A, insulators. For number 4, the answer is iron grills. Letter C. Number 5, the answer is letter C, cotton. Now, for letter B, true or false? Write true if the statement is correct and false if not. 1. Aluminum is a good conductor of heat and electricity. 2. All materials can be good conductors of heat and electricity. Number 3. Metal pots allow the heat flow thoroughly. And 4. Iron-based metals are insulators of heat and electricity. And number 5. Electricity plays an important role in our daily activities. Okay, so let us answer letter B. So for number 1, aluminum is a good conductor of heat and electricity. The answer is true. Number 2, all materials can be good conductors of heat and electricity. False. Okay, and number 3, metal pots allow the heat flow thoroughly. True. And number 4, iron-based materials are insulators of heat and electricity. True. Number 5, electricity plays an important role in our daily lives or activities. True. Further reflection. Reflect on what you learned on this lesson about conductors of heat and electricity by completing the statements below. The part of the lesson I believe I learned most about is blank. The task which I found most challenging because blank, and I realized that I can use what I have learned from this lesson when blank. And that concludes our lesson for this morning about conductors of heat and electricity.